everybody, it's Lori Morlock with Let's Stamp with Lori, and today I want to show you an embossing technique, and I want to use the Royal Peacock stamp set. This is really one of my favorite out of the new catalog, so let's get started. I'm going to use as my base, I'm going to use the Night of Navy, and it's going to be 8.5 by 5.5, increased at 4 1/4. I'm also using another new in color, the Rococo Rose, which really is a pretty. It's 4 by 5 1/4, and my inside frame is 4 by 5 1/4. Now I'm also going to, I cut some littler pieces. The Night of Navy, I did the, the 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, and then the small white square is just 2 by 2. So I've already cut all that out, and of course I got my Whisper White medium envelope. So let's get started. So let's start with the embossing. We're going to use our Rococo Rose, and I've already got this out on a big block. We're going to use our Versamark. Now, sometimes I do forget to use our little embossing buddy, and it has turned out okay, but this is nice just to barely put over your card. It kind of just keeps everything smooth and your emboss powder from, going everywhere. So I take my Versamark, and I find it simpler with the bigger stamp sets, and sometimes even with the small, I just lay it down and put the embossing, the Versamark on top. And I just want to make sure it's good and soaked in there. Set that off to the side. And I'm just going to line this up off to the side a little bit because I'm going to put my sentiment here in the corner. So I'm just going to line it up where I want. And really, with this beautiful bird, there's really just not a bad place to put it. So I'm going to push down with my photopolymer stamp as much as I can, just to make sure I get that Versamark good and onto my cardstock. And as you can see, you can barely see it, but I'm going to take my my white emboss powder, and I've got these little spoons here. Now I find it easier to put it in a bigger bowl. That way, it kind of just all falls back in. And I just take a small amount, and I just slightly go over, and then just kind of let it go over. And then I'll turn it. And I just find it easier to just kind of do like that. And then I just make sure I get all of it off. And you could tell that my stamp was even. So we'll set off that to the side. Now we're going to use our heat tool. And I usually have better luck when it's on high. Sorry, this is a little loud. And as this goes, it's finally just going to kind of just liquefy, and it's going to turn this really beautiful white. Now, sometimes if you have a smaller stamp set, this does get hot. You can also do this. I've done this before where I just stood on the opposite side of it, and it just doesn't get right on your fingers. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but see how it's turning? Let's see if I can turn this. Can you see that in the camera? And see, look how it's turning just a different color white. And you can see the difference there. And look what you just changed. Can you see that? I hope you're able to. But it just, once it gets a certain temperature, it just really, and you can tell, look, see, I've missed a spot right there, so I can just go right back over it. And it looks like I've got it everywhere. Maybe right there a little bit. Let me turn this off if I can. And look how pretty that is. And it's just really shiny. Oh, I missed just a little bit on his crown. Hold on just a second, I'm sorry. You see that right there at the very tip. And that's what's nice about this, is as you're heating it, you really can tell where you've missed. So you can always go back over and get it, even. So let's take our base now. And now we can put attach this. So let's go ahead and attach this with our snail. And these colors go together so well. And then we got that, and you can always turn it over if it's easier and get it to stick that way. So there we go. We have our main thing. Now we're going to go ahead and use our Roco Rose on our envelope and on our inside. And I just put these cute little flowers. And they are part of this Royal Peacock. And as you can see, this is a 2 stamp. So if you wanted more detail in your peacock, you can do that too. So let's see my Roco Rose here. And let's do our flowers first. And I'm just going to do it on the front and the back. Who doesn't love flowers? Maybe our husbands, but I do like a whole bunch of flowers. And it just really, the stamp just kind of just, it's perfect for these corners. And on the inside, I'm just going to do one. Now, of course, you can go it's all the way around or put them wherever you like. I like that one there. And now for our sentiment, we are going to just use So Very Proud of You. And I'm just going to line that up kind of just in the center of this smaller square. And this white square, Whisper White, is 2 by 2. And it's always good to stamp before, I could have gone ahead and attached this to my Night of Navy. But if you mess up, you can't take it apart. If you do it first, then you can turn it over and fix it. And no one's going to be the wiser. It'll just be your and my secret. Now watching me mess up now. Oh my gosh, I did it. Usually if I say I'm telling you about a mistake, usually I'm going to be the one to do it. And sometimes I do forget, and invariably I mess up, and then I have to just, cut out some more. So let's just kind of line this up. That looks perfect. Now I'm going to put some dimensionals on that, so it's going to pop right up for us. And I would just put, maybe just one on each corner, and that way it's going to stick up far enough where it gives it a little 3D effect. Before we attach that, let's go ahead and put our inside panel in, which is, like I said, 4 by 5 1/4, and that was what our front was too. That's usually just pretty much your standard, at least for a first frame, the main frame of your card. Okay, there's that. Super cute. Now we've lined this up. And see, really, I hate to cover up some of its feathers, but, you can put it as close as you want to over here on this side. Let's set it right here. That kind of looks, it really looks cool with the navy, Roco Rose, navy white. It looks like you just put a lot in there. Now, I also used, let me get the ink out of the way. Whoops. I also used the petal pink rhinestones. I have been wanting to use these forever, but when I've used the petal pink, it doesn't really match, at least to me. But it really does look good with this Rococo Rose, so that's what I'm going to use. These are petal pink though, but it does, to me, it matches perfect. Set that right there. And look what a finished product. It's just really cute, very stylish. If you want any information, just text me, email me. We've got the new holiday catalog out. Give me a holler, give me your address, and I'll send one to you free of charge. And just, if you need to shop, just shop at LoriMorlock.Stampin' Up. Check out my YouTube channel. Check out my Facebook. Check out my Instagram. And come back soon. I'll see you later. Bye.